Hello, my name is Lori. I sew to sell, and sometimes I sew for my personal pleasure. I own a small handmade business. It's called sewatpeace.store. In today's video, we are going to be market prepping for an upcoming market. So I am running low on my eyeglass cases. Here's an example of the eyeglass cases that I make. So at my last market, I was told by somebody that they had been looking for an eyeglass case that fit their sunglasses and they had no luck. And then they came to my shop and I let her try it out and she put her glasses in here and it fit perfect. She was so excited and I was excited, of course, because I like that my product worked for her. So today we're gonna be bulk prepping. I am running low on the colors that I have to choose from. So I'm gonna add quite a bit of different styles to my shop. So these are the only patterns that I currently have available. So not too many to choose from. There's about 5 here. So I'm excited to add some more and hopefully I'll get more happy clients at my next market. So these are pretty popular, and actually the market in Prescott that I'm going to next month, that's the market that I've had numerous people asking me for eyeglass cases. So that's the reason why I started making them last year, is because so many people were asking for them. So that's how that came about. But I noticed recently I went to, well, I should say last year. No, I think it was the beginning of the year. We went to Seattle, Washington, and we went to this store and it was just full of handmade products. And there was one little, it was almost like a painted tree where there were a bunch of artisans that displayed their work there. And then there was one person there that sold it all for them. And I noticed one booth that had handmade sewn items and she made eyeglass cases and I thought they were so cool. And they had the little like metal clasp or metal closure up here. So you just like press down really hard and then it opens it, and then once you let go, then it goes back to its shape. But I thought the idea was really cool, but personally I didn't like how hard it was to squeeze the metal device. I don't know what the hardware is called, but I really did not enjoy that experience. So as much as I enjoyed the look and the idea of the closure, just comfort wise, it wasn't very good in my opinion. Let me know what you guys think. Have you guys seen those eyeglass cases with those metal clasps that you really have to push down on in order to open it? I'm not thinking about changing my style. I like the style that I currently have, but I'm just curious if anybody actually enjoys that style of eyeglass case. So all of my eyeglass cases, they all have a plastic snap button on them. So you can see it in the video. So we'll be getting started on that. So here's the stack of fabric that I have to work with. I just added this brown one. I created this stack a few days ago, but then I just realized as I was getting ready to start this project that I didn't have any more of this brown fabric. And this is a pretty popular print. So it's a nice neutral, but yet still fun. So we're gonna get started on that. I'm not sure if I have liners for all of these. So once I get everything cut, I'm gonna go through my fabric and see what liners that I can pair with these. So, all right, we're gonna get started cutting. Okay, turn my iron on just in case I need to iron something real quick before I cut it. Sometimes when you open up your fabric, you have these crazy creases on here, and I want to be prepared. So this is a newer fabric that I purchased from a new to me quilt shop. I talked about it in one of my videos. So I wasn't quite sure what I was gonna make out of it, but I was looking at it and I thought it would be a fun print to make some eyeglass cases with. I just realized that I cut this in the wrong orientation for bulk prep. So I think I may just do these ones all individually because this one is directional. Oopsies. Sometimes we make mistakes in sewing and cutting, but I try not to make those mistakes on my pricier fabric, which I just did. So Here's one. So I wanted it to go in this direction rather than this direction. And we'll use this for our pull tabs. I am done quilting everything. So most of my tabs are done. I forgot to do one with my hot pink thread, so I'll have to do that when I go and top stitch around the rim of the eyeglass holder. So I'm just gonna trim these down to size, and then we'll pick out our lining fabric. So I'm trying to avoid going back to the store to get some lining fabric, and I really just want to use what I have because I still do have quite a bit of fabric, and I feel like I do more fabric buying than I do sales. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna try to work with what we have. And I just bought a few yards, I think like 4 yards of like a natural color fabric for lining. So if we don't have anything at all to pair with something, we'll just pair the natural color. And actually I have a plan to use the natural fabric on a couple of these prints anyways. This one didn't cut all the way. This one's gonna be so cute. I love this purple. Or lilac. Lilac or lavender. I'm not really sure. I'm not the best person at determining colors. I'm not colorblind, but I do struggle a little bit. Okay. So I've been watching or listening to this audiobook app. It's called Pocket FM. So I learned about it from an advertisement. I was watching YouTube and I saw an advertisement for it, and I've been addicted. So this is not sponsored or anything, but I started listening to a couple of the audiobooks, and they're highly addicting, but they only allow you to listen to like a few episodes a day. So you can listen to more, but you have to pay for it. And I'm trying not to go that route, but let me know if you guys have listened to the Pocket FM. I kept getting advertisements for it, and then I finally clicked on it and downloaded the app. Initially, I downloaded it on my iPad, and it wouldn't like load properly. I wasn't sure what happened. I tried to troubleshoot it, and finally I got frustrated. I'm like, I'm going to delete this app. Well, I deleted it, re-downloaded it, that didn't work. So I deleted it again, and I ended up downloading it on my phone, and it works perfectly on my phone. So it's a nice change from music, listening to music or other podcasts, or watching YouTube videos. Sometimes when I watch a YouTube video, I like to actually watch the video and not just listen. So the Pocket FM is really nice. It does have like some little quirks to it, and some of the narrations are cheesy, and also the videos are like AI, so it's not an actual movie or story that you're watching. Well, it is, but it's just different. It's AI generated. So Anyways, okay, so I'm gonna work on choosing the linings and then I'll be right back with you guys. I think my microphone was not on during the last clip, but I think we're back in business now. I don't know why it keeps disconnecting. Gonna attach my little grippy thing. I have a love-hate relationship with this guy. It always comes off for some reason. So I found some coordinating smaller pieces of fabric to go with some of my eyeglass cases. So I am glad to get rid of some of these scrappy pieces of fabric. All right, and it looks like I'm not gonna have enough for this one print, so I'm probably gonna have to switch it up on a couple of them. See this guy just fell off. All right, guys, I have cut all of my outer pieces and all my lining pieces. So I'm just gonna go ahead and attach my little tabs on here and my labels before I fold it in. Actually, no, I'm just gonna put everything together at once. That's what we're gonna do. I was gonna do it separate, but I think it'll be faster just to keep doing it the way I normally do it. Hopefully I don't mess anything up. So how do I do this? Okay, I think this is a better angle for you guys. So I just construct these just like a tote bag. So I sew the outer portion and then the inner portion. Oops. See, this is why I was gonna construct it a little bit different this time because I forget my label. Now I get to pick some stitches. Lucky me. Usually when I mess up like this, I'll just do just a small area where I'm gonna put the label in, and then I'll sew over this area just a little bit before I pick the stitches and then a little bit after. There we go, good as new. So I'm impatiently waiting for my Amazon delivery today. I ordered a banana syrup, and I forget the brand, but I bought it to add to my chai lattes. So I've been getting into chai tea lately. I don't usually like chai. Well, I didn't like it before, but I didn't actually like tea at all. Really just green tea was the only kind of tea I drank. But I have recently been suffering from indigestion. So I'm trying to, well, actually I did completely eliminate coffee from my diet. So I've been switching to tea, and I discovered I do like chai tea. I feel like when you cannot have something, you're forced to like something you didn't like before, if that makes any sense. I'm also lactose intolerant, so that has forced me to like vegan cheese as well. And now I can't even tell the difference. Well, I can't tell the difference, but it's like normal to me now. So I enjoy my vegan pizzas. Oh, so the chai tea that I like and that I'm trying to recreate, it's a banana bread chai tea. And I purchased it from one of my local coffee shops. And it's super good, but it's always like really sweet. So I would rather make it at home and make it less sweet. So I didn't ask for the recipe. My husband asked me if I asked the employees for the recipe. I said no. I felt like that was not an appropriate thing to ask. I just asked them what brand syrup that they use. And they told me that they use the Monin syrup. I looked it up on Amazon and they didn't have it available on Amazon Prime. So I'm trying a different brand, and this other brand actually has better reviews than the Monin brand. So we shall find out. And then my husband also informed me that most of the coffee shops that make the chai latte, they use the chai concentrate, and that's already like super loaded with sugar in it. So I like that I can make it at home and make it with a natural chai tea, because sometimes I wonder if the concentrates actually have actual tea in it or coffee or whatever. I mean, I'm sure it does, but it probably has a bunch of other ingredients that are not good for you. So I ended up using my electric cutter on the linings, and I wish I had taken it out for the main body pieces. So I will have to try that the next time I make some of these eyeglass holders, because I do curve the bottoms, but it doesn't have to be like super precise when you cut it, just because you're sewing around the curve. So your stitches are going to create that curve. I really like this print. I think it's going to turn out super cute. Hello, I am back at the sewing machine. So I have separated my eyeglass cases. So this is all the linings that I need to sew closed with the light pink thread. And I have all of my eyeglass cases in another stack that I need to sew up with my linen color thread. So I'm gonna sew all the linings closed first on these, and then we'll go ahead and tuck the linings in and sew the exterior. I'm gonna get started on that, and we'll probably speed up the video because I am listening to an audiobook. So I caved and ended up purchasing some extra episodes. So that audiobook series is very addicting. So beware if you download it. So that's everything that has a color snap. And then this whole stack here is everything that I'm gonna put either white or a cream color plastic snap button on it. So I think I'm gonna go with the cream color on this, and then I'll do white on everything else. So I'm gonna show you how I'm poking the holes on all these. So I usually use the other tool that I showed you guys earlier. Well, let me show you again. So I normally use this tool to make the holes in whatever product I'm putting my plastic snap button in, but I am finding that this is a little bit easier for this particular project. So this is called an owl, I believe. So what I'm doing is just finding the center on my mat, and then I'll mark it, and I just go like a little bit below the top edge and then just poke it through. So this one is actually a little bit easier on my hand than this guy. So I just make sure my inner lining is nice and flat, find the center, and then I'll just stab this guy through, and then I'll repeat with all of them, and then we'll go over to my table press, and then we'll put all the plastic snaps on here, or what we have left. Anyways, so I was telling you guys about the Pocket FM app. Well, that was a few days ago, and I am really addicted now. I ended up purchasing some more episodes, and then I just found out that I can play games for additional episodes. Well, I knew that, but I didn't really want to do it. But I found a couple games that I actually like and got some points from them, so I guess I am addicted. I find that audiobooks are a great way to pass the time. Well, I'm actually new to listening to the audiobooks. I usually listen to music or podcasts, but I feel like a story is a nice little change of pace. And I'm really quite into the books that I'm listening to, or the stories that I'm listening to. One of them is The Alpha's Bride, and then the other one is The Duke's Masked Bride. And they're both pretty good. I started another one yesterday. I forget what it's called, but I need something else because when I run out of episodes, I don't like it. So I want something else that I can listen to. All right, I'm just gonna put the cream color on the butterfly print. So I just start with a cap, put it on the exterior, and then just poke it through the holes. And then we're gonna grab a male piece. It doesn't really matter which order you do it in, but I usually just grab the male piece first because it's in my middle section, and then just put it right on the press and press down, and then one side is done. So we're just going to repeat the process on the other side. So put the cap in there, and then we're going to put the female piece in there, and then we just put the cap right in this little attachment, press down, and it's done. Wow. Just poke myself. So you kind of have to use a little bit more force to get the cap in there when you use an owl instead of the other punching tool. It just makes the hole a little bit smaller. Hey guys, I am all done with the eyeglass holders. So I finished all the ones that I used my linen color thread on, and I just pile them all here so I can show you guys really quickly. So here is the first one. It's a black floral. This one is a white daisy floral, and here's the brown and white floral. I've had this one in my shop. This one's a pretty good seller. And here is the strawberry one, super cute. And this flower print, I don't know how to describe it, but it's really cute. This one's actually one of my favorites. And then we have the butterfly print. And then over here we have this other floral. Has like flowers and moons. This one's in my shop currently as well. And this one's a really good seller. This is the last of the fabric. I think I mentioned that before. So I will not have any more after these are sold out. And I made 4 of these. And then this one is it's like a lavender floral with like hot pink flowers on it. This one's also one of my top favorites. And then here is a wildflower purple and blue. And here's a purple floral. And then we have the star print with gold on it. And lastly, we have the parrot print. I'll give you a quick demonstration. Let's demonstrate this flower one. So here are some sunglasses. So we just tuck them in and then snap it closed. So I have some bigger sunglasses that I wanted to demonstrate, but I think they're in my car and I don't feel like going out there right now. And then here are some readers that I have, or not readers. These are blue light filter glasses. So there's that one. So I add the tab on here. So if you're like a teacher or somebody that likes to wear a lanyard, you can just hook it on, carry your glasses, or you can hook it to your purse if you have some type of clip inside your purse. I think when I went to Seattle, I was wearing a crossbody bag that had a swivel hook closure on one side of the strap. So I just stuck it through the hole and then attached it to my purse that way. So it's really helpful when you have a smaller purse or when you have a bigger purse so your glasses don't get scratched. So I am so glad that I have more inventory now. I'll have a nice selection for people to choose from when I go to my Prescott Territorial Days market. Well, this concludes my video. I appreciate you guys all watching. If you enjoyed it, I would appreciate it if you give me a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. And again, if you want to shop any of my handmade products, my website is sewatpeace.store. And I hope you all have a joyful and peaceful day.